Hey there, welcome to LSAT Demon Daily. I'm Ben Olson, that's Nathan Fox. We're the founders of LSATdemon.com and our weekly podcast, Thinking LSAT. We have an email here from Anonymous.
Hi, Ben and Nathan. I'm deciding on applying with a 167 LSAT 4.11 GPA or punting another year to see if my score can increase. I'm not planning on testing this time until I hit practice tests timed in my goal range. Do you think it's worth trying for a year to see if that score can increase? Worst case scenario, I would lose a year and my score wouldn't increase. Wanted to know if that's a gamble you'd take if next year's cycle is estimated to be more competitive than this cycle. My goal is Harvard, Yale, Stanford, or T14 with as close to a full ride as possible, which I think I might get from UPenn or UVA. So I know that retaking is probably a good move, but I'm afraid of not improving with this new test version since Logic Games was my best section. I've taken recent time tests and scored lower than the 167 I got in June, so my starting point is a few points lower now with the new format. It'll be an uphill battle as RC is a beast and I am the epitome of an overthinker. What do you think? Thanks for your help, Anonymous.
So it sounds like 167 is high for Anonymous, but Anonymous's goal is HYS. I don't think 167 is going to make that likely.
I don't think so either. You got great grades, probably above their medians, but you've got an LSAT that's definitely below their medians.
Look, taking a year off and getting better at reading comp, you said it'll be an uphill battle as RC is a beast. You can tame that beast.
Yeah.
And if you do, you will be a much better student at HYS. So you'll get both. You'll get into HYS and you'll be able to compete better than you would if you tried to get in with a 167. Tame it.
I don't think reading comp is that much of a beast. You know, they're giving you 14 or 15 sentences and then they're asking you questions that are based on the facts that you read in those sentences. They're looking for you to pick answers that are justified by what you just read. And you're going to read way harder stuff in law school. So get used to it now. Slow down, be more detail oriented, pay attention to the argument. Don't just gloss stuff, but make sure that you're digesting as much as you can from each sentence before moving on to the next one. You should find that the questions get more predictable. The wrong answers start looking worse and worse the more you understand of the passage. And, you know, if you can bump that 167 to a 171, 172, you're now a much more credible applicant at those schools. Also, what do you have to lose? You've admitted, or you've acknowledged, I'm not going to take the test again if I don't score higher on my timed practice tests. So you're going to keep taking practice tests. You're going to keep studying. And if you can boost your practice test scores, which I think you can, then you take it again. And there's just nothing but upside. Even if you don't increase your practice test scores, you're still a 167. And this speculation about whether next cycle is going to be harder or weaker, you don't know. No matter what kind of speculations you might have read, we have no idea what's going to happen in the next admission cycle. It's just not predictable. You can't predict tomorrow's newspaper. So you can't predict what the stock market's going to do, and you can't predict what's going to happen in the market for law school applications. You will, though, at the same time, probably improve your resume. And these schools are intensely interested in your work experience. I see nothing but upside here. I can't see any downside other than the work of grinding it out on the LSAT for a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're afraid of work, you're in the wrong field anyway. You should not be trying to go to Harvard, Yale, Stanford, or any school in the top 14 or law school period if you are not wanting to put in the work, because that's what you're signing yourself up for.
Yeah, this is interesting. It's almost like if you choose not to do this, then HYS is probably not the best path for you. But if you choose to do it, your chances of succeeding in that competitive environment increase.
Yeah. The typical HYS student would wait another year.
Yep.
So it's like a self-selecting, self-solving problem.
Yeah.
Thanks, Anonymous, for writing in. Email daily@lsatdemon.com if you'd like to ask us a question or share some LSAT or law school admissions news. Thanks for listening.